Hey everyone. So, welcome. I'm going to spend a moment. If you're watching this later, we're going to have a few minutes where I'm inviting people and giving people an opportunity to join the live stream. So I usually post these later. So if you're watching this later, I want to fast forward a couple of minutes, maybe 3 to 5 minutes, and the class will start, and you'll know I'm starting the class when I'm back there. Okay, so you can see me clicking around for a little bit, and that's just me inviting people to the live stream and to participate in the class. And if you're joining me, feel free to do a watch party on your page. Maybe invite some other people to join you to do this class. This is going to be a more active class. Yang is the opposite of yin. So yin yoga is a lot of stillness, silence, you could say, relatively speaking. This is going to be more of movement, fluid movement, flowing movement, you could say. But it's not vinyasa yoga. So it really has its own kind of character to it. And many of my students really like this style of class. So hopefully if you're joining me today, you'll enjoy it. You'll get a lot out of it. If there are any questions, go ahead and put that in the comments for me. I'll try and answer that before I start. Once we get started, it's difficult, if not impossible, for me to answer questions while we go on this platform. Okay, so my advice is don't do anything that hurts, injurious, anything that feels kind of off or wrong. Avoid that by all means. But remember what it is. Remember what's giving you a hard time, and then just reach out. You leave me a question while we're going, and I can answer it afterwards. Or just reach out to me when we're done with the class, okay? And here on Facebook, and I'm happy to answer any questions or if you had any trouble with anything. All right. So again, I'm just inviting some folks who might want to join us for the class today. And again, you're welcome to do the same. In fact, it helps me out if you do. All right. Let's see if there's anyone else who might want to come. So for this class, you might want a block or a strap. Could be useful. Even a blanket could come in useful, but it's by no means required or necessary. Okay. And again, we'll start somewhat relaxed, somewhat chill, and then we'll work our way up to some standing postures, which will be more active, and we'll get up more of a sweat there. All right. So if it starts a little slow for your taste, don't worry. We're just sort of getting warmed up, and we're working our way up to doing more active practices. All right, I'm just going to invite a few more people here, and then we'll get started. All right, so that's probably all the people I'm going to invite for today's class. All right, so Yang Yoga, again, this is what we're here to do. I know it looks like it's spelled Yang, but it's Yang, okay? So Yang Yoga. And let's get started on our mat. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. I've had it before where people tell me a few minutes in that they can't hear me. So hopefully everybody can hear me all right. All right, so let's find, actually we're gonna start on our back today. So let's get back on our back. If you hear some noises, that's because my window is open. I like the fresh air, so before every day is 80 or 90 degrees, I'm going to try and enjoy the fresh air while I still can. Feel free to put on any music that you like to move or flow to. And we'll start in pentacle pose, so we just relax on our back. And before we try and do anything, let's just really check in. So often, the things that we do in our lives, even yoga, can be a form of escapism. Spirituality at its best helps us fully embody our lives and live our lives, fully embrace both the challenges and the joys of our lives. But if we're not careful, we can use spirituality as a way of disembodying and trying to escape the challenges of our lives. So just because we say spirituality, it doesn't automatically make it a good thing in our lives. Like so many other things in human life, it really depends on how we are using the tools that we are given. Alcohol and opioids can be medicinal when used in the right way. Yoga can be injurious and harmful when used in the wrong way. Okay, so we're checking in, just noticing what we're feeling. And let's see if we can just really allow ourselves to feel that. So maybe there's some boredom there. Well, just sort of acknowledge that, let that be there. Maybe you're feeling anxious this morning. So again, notice that we don't actually have to do anything. We don't want to feel that way, right? But we're okay. We can let that anxiety be there. It's not going to destroy us. And once we get going, I think it'll change how we feel. Okay, I'd like to begin today with some gentle leg stretches. Again, we're just sort of warming up and getting ready to do more active practice. So begin by moving that leg around just gently. It's called the leg cradle. And there's no one particular way that you need to do this. So I encourage you just move the leg around and feel the leg, feel the hip and your low back. And try some extreme positions. So try out to the side, try moving across the midline of the body, try hugging that leg in rather aggressively. So what positions create pain? Which positions maybe feel good, like a release is happening? This feels particularly good today. For whatever reason, some of the muscles are sore in my legs, so that feels like a nice stretch, a nice release. So I might hold that and take a few breaths. And this can also affect our low back, so we want to pay attention. And again, you can be quite aggressive. You can move to extremes if you like. All right, let's switch legs. So coming in on the other side, take hold of the left leg. And again, notice if the mind is unhappy about this, if it's wanting more, it's wanting to do something else. So, if you think about being happy in life, how often is it that life gives you exactly what you want? Right? We might pursue what we want constantly, but how often do we actually get it? How often do we actually get it? So if we actually want lasting happiness, we have to let go of the idea that from moment to moment, we're always going to get what our mind wants. And what's interesting is we can discover that what our mind wants isn't necessarily what we want. Just because something pops in my head, I want this, I want that, it doesn't mean that that's actually going to fulfill us. All right, let's bring both legs in now. And you can do this in a few different ways. You can cross those ankles if you want. You can interlace fingers or hold shins. Your knees can be together or apart, so you can do it wide like that. And again, when we have the legs in like this, it's very often more about the spine. So I like to sort of emphasize rolling on the spine in the back, or doing these sorts of circles where we're massaging the pelvis and sacrum on the ground, And again, just trying to get into any soft spots, any painful spots, get some blood flow in there, some movement in there. Generally, that's good for the body as long as we aren't nursing a fresh injury. Okay, then we will hinge. So the hinge is an active yang movement that is a core strengthener, and it pulls the hips and spine together. So legs up. If there's pain in your back, you bend your knees. Otherwise, legs are straight. We'll lift the head and neck, take a nice deep breath in, and as we exhale, we lower the legs toward the ground. Now, just before they touch, we pause, inhale, and then exhale and relax onto the back. We return to pentacle pose. Good. Now let's do the stirrup. So we'll bring in the right leg. Same idea. I'm just going to bring that leg in and move it around a little bit. Pulling down on the foot gets me deep into flexion of the hip joint, and that creates a strong stretch in the muscles there, for me anyway. It can also create a nice compression at the front of the hip. So we want to monitor that, make sure that's not too much. From there, we can take that leg overhead and stretch the back of the leg here. And we can also pull the leg out to the side and stretch the inside of the thigh. Now feel free to lift this left leg up at any time, and that can help you manipulate how intense the stretch is and what's going on with your hips. Hey, Dominique. Okay, so just give yourself a good stretch here, moving around freely. You can move your arm if you want, the other arm. There's very little rules here. Just don't hurt yourself. That's the main rule, if you want to say there is one. Okay, now we're going to switch sides. So we bring that left leg in. We're going to pull down on that leg, working into, again, the deep hip flexion. So when we have that knee bent, we're going to get into a deep hip flexion here. You can use both hands if you want. And again, this other leg can come up, so you can sort of rock yourself around. Now, the idea is not to imitate what I'm doing, but to feel your own body, which movements are helping to release stagnant chi. Chi is energy, so stagnant energy, energy that is stuck. Very often when energy is stuck, it's painful. It doesn't feel good. That area feels dull or sensitive in some way. So we want to get the flow going. Now again, taking this leg overhead is another option, and dropping it out to the side is another option. So once again, our mantra for a class like this is it's not how it looks, but how it feels. So let's move in a way that feels like it's helping our body to be the best body it can be. Okay, both legs now. So this is a lot like a happy baby. Now that is a nice release for my back, deep stretch for my back. Some students could even put their legs behind their head here. So if that's you, feel free to do that. We extend those legs, again, just exploring what's possible here for my body, and what way can I help the body to, again, become whole, to become healed, to become strong and active. The body likes to move as long as we don't overdo it. Good. Then again, we'll hinge. So hands under the hips, legs up, lift the head and neck, take a deep breath, exhale, slowly lower the legs. Take a nice deep breath and exhale, relax on your back. So let's come back to that space that we had at the beginning. Is anything changing? Do we feel the same emotionally, mentally, energetically, physically? Or have things begun to flow, begun to change? Flow and change are really the same thing, right? Good. Now we're going to get into the outside of the hip a bit, and we can do that in a few ways. One way looks like this. It's called a figure 4. So I reach down, I grab the leg and pull it in like this. Some students, though, prefer to actually manipulate the leg directly, and I'm one of those people. So I actually wrap my arms around. Now I'm just moving that leg around. Again, what do I feel out here primarily, and also in the back? And can I release some of the tension that's there in the outside of my hip? These are called the glutes, the gluteals. Could also call them abductors and extensors. Feel free to use the other leg, so that creates much more intensity for me. And I can also lift my head and neck up, right? So if I feel better here, which I do, then I can do it in this way. Good, let's switch sides. So same thing, again, you can do it like this, right? Holding in various areas. Some people like that. But even if you're doing this variation, I encourage movement. I encourage you to move. So again, yang movement is a yang quality. If we want to be still and stretch, we can take the yin class. I've got plenty of them on my YouTube channel, on my Patreon page. You can do one of those instead. So this is about the benefits that come from moving. So just exploring that release that can happen when we move. All right, good. Now we're going to bring both feet together like this. So notice I'm holding the soles of my feet together. I can take my legs overhead, but notice I still have my feet together. And again, I can roll around on my back, just sort of stretching and moving. You can also rock all the way to one side, right? So if you want to roll over to one side, you don't have to limit yourself to staying on your back. And again, you can be quite aggressive here if that feels appropriate for your body. Go ahead, move and stretch, breathe. Okay, once again, let's slide those hands under our hips. We'll extend the legs up, lift the head and neck, deep breath, and we exhale and gradually lower those legs. You can hover for a moment, take a deep breath in and exhale. Let's relax. So again, just take a moment to notice if the mind is anticipating what comes next or replaying what just happened. Can you instead pay attention to something that's happening right now? Letting go of descriptions, judgments, letting go of analysis, and just really fully experiencing whatever it is, some part of this moment, or all of this moment. Beautiful. All right, let's bring our legs in, slide our hands under our hips here, extend those legs up, lift that head and neck, take a nice deep breath. Exhale as we gradually lower the legs. Inhale, pop the legs up, and let's exhale on up to seated. Okay, so let's do a little bit of active activation for the posterior chain, which is the muscle chain on the back of our body, and also the shoulders and arms. In modern life, these areas tend to get very weak because we just don't use those muscles very much. When was the last time you carried your own groceries to your car? I mean carry, not use a cart. Okay, so we've made our lives very easy, very convenient, but unfortunately that tends to lead to unhealthiness. So the human body needs to be worked, it needs to be stressed to stay healthy. All right, so this is called a tripod. And again, I want you to be mindful. If you haven't done a lot of movement, then you're going to take your time with this. You're going to be gentle with yourself. And if you're, worried about hurting yourself, then you skip it for today, and then you ask me about it, and we'll look at it one-on-one, okay? Otherwise, I'm going to rest my arm here on my knee like this. Actually, I'll do this side first. It doesn't matter which side you do as long as you do both. Notice this hand is behind me, supporting me. Okay, and then the move is like this. I lift up. Okay, and then I can move that arm around. Now, I don't have to stay up here. We can do some reps. So coming down and then again lifting up. Maybe we go a little higher the next time. We move in a different way. Again, we're not trying to be the same each time. So maybe I reach over, reach back. Okay, we'll do a couple more times. Feel free to make big sweeping gestures with your body. Get different muscles in your body to activate than normally while you're sitting at your desk. Good. And again, you can hold it. You can come up and hold if that feels right for you. Now we're going to switch sides. So again, it's a tripod. I just start with this arm resting on the knee, and then I inhale, lift up and stretch and reach and move. Okay, I can rock back and forth. So again, there's really only, you could say, one rule or two rules. One is move, and the other is don't injure yourself, don't hurt yourself. And I can only be of so much help with that second one. There's a common misconception both among students and teachers that the teacher can somehow keep you safe. And that's really just an illusion. Certainly there are things that the teacher can help you with, but the idea that the teacher somehow is going to know everything that she or he needs to know to keep you perfectly safe, it's an illusion. It's just not possible. Bodies are too complex. When you study anatomy, you learn that each body is unique and the human body is extremely complex. All right, now that we did that, let's go ahead and sit facing the camera now, and we'll do a few rounds of what's called willows in the wind. So this activates the upper body, but in a more gentle way, and again, it encourages flow. It's sort of like what we were doing in the lower body when we were starting, just trying to break up that stagnant chi. Okay, so let's begin just by inhaling our arms up. We'll touch the palms, and then we're just going to bring them down to our heart like so. And let's just do that a few times. So you can imagine you're gathering up all the energy from around you, and then you're pulling it down to your heart. Okay. Inhaling up, and exhale, you pull it down right to the heart center. A few more times. Deep breath in, and exhale. One more. Good. Now, let's inhale, and we'll bring one arm up. We're going to lean over to the other side. Then as I exhale, I dive down, sweeping under, stretching my back. As I inhale, I'm going to come back, up and back, open the front of my body to the ceiling. And as I exhale, I sweep around to the other side. Inhale, lengthen and stretch my side. Exhale, reaching down, stretching the back, rounding. Inhale, stretching back, opening up. And then exhale, sweeping around to the other side. So this is called willows in the wind. Inhale. And exhale. And the breathing is more a recommendation than anything. Inhale. And exhale. So if you want to breathe in a different way, that's okay. You can do that. But I do recommend deep breaths in and out. Okay? Deep breaths in and out. Full breaths in and out. So the pattern I'm doing is inhale and exhale. And then inhale and sweep around. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and sweep around. Now as I stretch into my side, I am trying to keep my hip down, and the reason I'm doing that is not for safety, It's okay if your hip comes up off the ground when you reach over, but it's really more just to accentuate the stretch. So if I'm coming over, I'm not going to get much stretch, right? So I want to keep that hip down, get a nice stretch, reach under, reach back. Good. This will be the last one. And again, notice how the body is reacting to this, is opening up in response to the movement. Good, and then now we'll just come forward. If you can, place your forehead on the ground. If not, it's okay. You can put a block in front of you. Well, let's open up the shoulders and chest a little bit. So we'll interlace fingers back behind our back. I'm just going to pull those arms up. And then as you breathe, I want you to expand your chest. So inhale, feel the chest expanding toward the ground. As you exhale, feel those intercostal muscles relax and release. Good. As we inhale, let's come on up. And exhale, release those arms. Beautiful, guys. Okay, let's move into our transition towards standing. So we come into tabletop position. Inhale, tailbone lifts, belly drops, crown of the head comes up. And exhale, reverse that. That's called cat-cow. You can do a few of those, and then feel free to start introducing more variety of movement. So in Yang Yoga, we call this a bear. So in bear, you can do things like bend your elbows. You can make barrel rolls with your torso and upper body. You can drop your hips. Ooh, outside of my hips are real sore. So again, this is one of the things that movement does for us, right? As we move, we gain awareness. Oh, that hurts. If we're still, often we don't feel anything. It's really when we begin to move that we can feel the condition of our body. Now, what's interesting is as I repeat the movement, that initial pain and stiffness begins to dissipate. It begins to go away. So movement is the cure for many, many illnesses. I'm not going to say it's the cure for everything, but for a lot of things, including emotional and mental issues that we're having. If we could just move enough and in the right way, we could feel whole again. You could also lift those knees up like this, right? A little more active, getting into the core a bit. Good. Now, when you're done with that, let's come into the down dog. And again, Yang Yoga is about movement. So I'm not trying to stay still. I'm moving my toes, trying to get them to move, right? They may not be very willing to do that. My ankles, my knees and my hips, using the weight of my body, right? As I press back, I get that weight of my body to help stretch those muscles out. Good, and from here we'll walk our feet to our hands, coming into the ragdoll. So here we are. This is called elephant pose in Yang. And again, in other styles of yoga, very often it's called ragdoll. So in elephant, our hands are like our trunk, right? And when elephants walk, they often sway side to side. So we can try that. How are we feeling? So, if I have injuries in my body, this can be painful. So you may have to modify this. You may have to skip this even. All right. Now you'll notice that I'm slowly going wider because, again, we're not just moving. We're also looking for a variety of movement. So even though it might look like I'm repeating the same movement, actually each time there are small variations. So I'm sinking down deeper.
I'm going lower. Now, how low you go depends on you. Okay, so again, you know your body, hopefully. And I end up down here. And I move my torso around a bit because I'm looking for nice deep stretch in the inside of the thighs. In Taoism, that's the liver channel that runs through there in the inside of the leg, and then it runs up into the middle of the body. And that's a very important channel. We want to stimulate and help balance it with our movements today. Good, and then eventually you want to make your way more or less back to the central position there. And then from there, let's turn our palms up. We'll inhale and gather up the chi from all around us. And then let's exhale into this position, open horse. Okay, so we're sinking down here. And usually, at least in the first open horse, I like to drop my hands down into my thighs. Again, that gets into the liver channel. I don't know if this is this way for everybody, but I tend to hold a lot of tension there. So again, this can show up emotionally as emotions like frustration. It's wood energy. Wood energy is the energy of spring. So of the season that we're in, wood is one of the 5 elements in Taoist 5-element theory. So again, I'm trying to balance out that energetic channel there. Good. From here, we'll exhale. We'll come forward into an elephant like we did, but we're going to add a twist, literally. So I'm just going to place my right hand to the ground, and I'll inhale that left arm up into the twisting elephant. Now, I almost want to pretend that my hands or my arms are on a doorway, and I'm pushing myself through that doorway. Right, so the shoulders are coming back, the arms are coming back, I'm pushing through. Good. Let's do that on the other side. So exhale, inhale. Again, the breathing is more suggestion than anything. Now, how do the hips feel? How do the legs feel? So again, if I'm really doing this, I'm affecting my shoulders, my spine, and my legs. Good. Exhale, come on down. And then turn your palms up. Imagine you're holding a big golden seed, and that's the name of the sequence. So as I inhale, I'm standing up with my big golden seed, and then I'm going to push up. That's called heaven and earth. And I like to do a back bend here. Back bends can be very heavenly. They can also be very scary. As we exhale, we come forward and our arms go back. And this is the drinking bird. Again, a little bit of stimulation, the shoulders, a stretch for the back and the legs potentially. And then inhale, coming up, and this is called the rocking horse. So this is a leg strengthener. The more that I sink down, the more my legs are working. Again, no pain in the knees or the hips. All right, and I can really work those legs if I want. Good. Exhale, come forward again to the drinking bird. Again, spine, shoulders, and legs. Get a stretch. And then let's relax those arms, turn our palms up, inhale, and we'll gather up the chi or energy from all around us. Then we exhale to open horse. Good. Inhaling, we come forward and down to elephant. And let's exhale into twisting elephant. Inhaling that arm down and exhale to the other side. Inhaling, coming back down, grabbing the golden seed and standing up. And we exhale to heaven and earth. Inhale back through center and exhale to the drinking bird. Good. Inhale, the rocking horse, work those legs. It's not a stretch. And then exhale, drinking bird again. Let your feet move freely. Turning the palms up, we inhale, we gather up the chi. And again, exhale Open horse. Good. Inhale as we come forward and down. And exhale, twisting elephant. Inhale, center. And exhale, twisting elephant. Inhale, center. Grab your golden seed. Begin to stand and rise up. Exhale, heaven and earth. Inhale through center. And exhale to the drinking bird. Inhale, rocking horse. Work those legs. And exhale, drinking bird. Good. Palms turn up and inhale as we stand up. And this time, let's descend the chi down through the crown of the head and all the way to the lower cauldron, what's called the lower dantian, which is where we store our energy according to Taoism. So qi is, it's sort of the universal animating force, energy, and it takes many forms. Blood is a form of qi, it's a form of energy. Qi and prana are the same thing. So sometimes people try and make it sound like they're two different things, not according to my teachers. None of my teachers actually think, and again, some of them study Taoism, some of them study yoga. None of them say that they're different. The different traditions work with the energy in a different way. That's fine. It's the same energy. There's one energy for life. There's not, it can take many forms, but there's just one energy. All right, let's get into our next standing sequence. This is going to be the warrior advance and retreat. Okay, so we're going to come over to this side of our mat. This next sequence, the golden seed really works the spine more than anything. And now this sequence is going to work our legs. So as we inhale, we come up into this position, crane, which is a balance pose. Now many people have poor balance. And like many things in life, if we're bad at something, we can improve by doing it more. Okay, so if you have poor balance, I encourage you to practice your standing balance more often, not less, and do it barefoot. Do it without your shoes. All right, we'll take a nice deep breath, and as we exhale, we're going to step back, pivot, and turn. And this is called a warrior advance position. All right? Now, key is you don't want any pain in your knee or other parts of your leg. You should feel stretch here. This thigh is working. Notice my back heel is up, so it's not a traditional yoga warrior. And my right leg is forward, my left arm is forward. My left leg is behind me, and my right arm is behind me. So it has this kind of a look. Now it's both a stretch and strengthening pose. And the further down I go, and the wider I go, the harder I'm working. So we're not going to worry about alignment. Okay, it's not about perfect angles and things like that. You sink in however hard you want to work. Okay, as we inhale, we come back to center, we gather the chi at our heart center. Okay, the heart understands unity. The mind tends to see duality, but the heart sees unity. It sees oneness. Okay, so we gather that chi at our heart. The yin and the yang comes together at the heart. And then we exhale and we push off to the other side. Nice and strong. Don't be afraid of working it. Good. Again, inhale back to center. And we exhale to the first side again. Inhale, center. And exhale, second side. Good. Inhale, center. Exhale, first side. And then this time we reach down. We try and touch the earth. Now again, how low you go depends on you. Sweeping back, we come into this position, which is called a retreat, low retreat. Okay, it's sort of like a speed skater, right? Then, touch the earth again, I sweep forward, up, and back. This is a high retreat. Notice I'm not nearly as low, but this foot is still pointing back, all right? And you can do whatever you want with that foot. I like pointing it up. Then from there, I step forward crane, just like we started, but now on the other end of the mat. And as I exhale, I'll release that leg down. Beautiful. So let's do that same sequence on the other side. So inhale. For me, this is the left leg that's lifting up. And then exhale, I step back and push into my warrior advance. Again, I want more, then I'm going to sink down, right? So it's too easy. You just keep going till you find that challenge. Inhale, back to center. Gather energy at your heart. Exhale, work those legs, stretching and strengthening. Opposite legs. Good. Again, inhale. Deep breath and exhale, push. Again, inhale and exhale. Good. Last one. Deep breath in and push out. Reach down, touch the earth, right? And warrior retreat position. Then sweeping forward and up, high retreat position. Inhale to balance, standing on one leg, and exhale, release the arms and the leg. Good. So hopefully you got the hang of that. Now, let's see if we can do it without really pausing for a long time. We'll just flow right through it. As we do that, we are building chi flow. We're building energy. We're building heat. We're going to begin to sweat. It's not a bad thing. Okay, we want to sweat. All right. So inhale. Again, for me, that's the right leg. Exhale, step back, pivot, turn, warrior. Good. Inhale. Gather the chi and exhale, push. Again. Two more. And one more. Reach down, touch the earth, sweep back, low retreat. Inhaling. Again, the breath is a suggestion. Then coming forward, lifting that leg up, and exhale, release down. We go right into the other side. So inhale, crane. And exhale, step back. Good. You should be facing your screen or facing the camera the whole time, all right? You notice I'm doing that. Couple more times. Feel those legs. So if you're doing this, you're just going through the motions, you're not feeling the legs, then you're not at your edge. Good. Then reaching down, sweep back. Exhaling forward, inhale, crane, and exhale, release. Good. Let's go through the whole thing one more time. Inhale and lift, and exhale, pivot, turn, warrior. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Continue. Two more. One more time. Reach down, touch the earth, low retreat. Then exhaling. Inhale, step forward, crane, and exhale, release. We go right into the other side. Inhale and exhale. Deep breath in and flow. Two more times. Each time I sink, I want to feel those legs work. Last one. Good. Reach down, low retreat. Then exhale, high retreat. Inhale, crane as gracefully as you can. And exhale, release. Good. Let's close the eyes. Breathe, relax, and feel that rebound. So I can definitely feel my heart racing now. My breath has quickened. And my body temperature has risen. So again, all of these are signs of strong chi flow. That is life, right? It's life coursing through our veins. All right, we're going to do one more sequence today, and this is called the Flying Dragon series, okay? So we begin in the same way. We inhale, right leg up. And as I exhale, I step back, and I come into this position, which is it's called a gecko. It's an asymmetrical push-up position. So I'm in this low lunge, and then I drop down and I kiss the earth. Okay, forehead, nose, chin, or maybe you don't get all the way down. That's okay. Then as you inhale, you push back up using your arm strength, and you reach up, so it's the left hand up. It's called twisting dragon. Twisting dragon, I want those hips down and that heart opening up. So feel that twist in the spine. The more the hips face the ground and the more the chest face the ceiling, the deeper that twist is. Good. Exhale, come down, kiss the earth again. Now inhale, left leg up and back. You can bend the knee, can open the hip, right? You can shake that leg. This is called dragon tail pose. So you can stay in dragon tail, or you can flip over. And this is sometimes called wild thing, or flipping your dog. All right, so similar to what we did earlier with the tripod. Good, we're gonna take a nice deep breath here. Let's exhale, and we'll lunge. And then from there, we come up on our inhale. So dragon flies to the other end of the world. So we come all the way around, and we land here. And again, we do another push-up. So come down and inhale, reaching that right hand up. Again, twisting dragon, hips down, heart opens up. Feel the twist in the spine, the hips, and the shoulder. Exhale, coming down. Push up, and then inhale, right leg up and back this time. Okay, and then as we exhale, let's touch that knee high up on our right arm. Okay, then we'll inhale, draw it up and back. We're going to exhale, touch the nose, the chin, or the forehead. Inhale, draw it up and back. Lift it high. Exhale, touch the opposite arm. Kick that foot out. Now, if you don't feel stable in your shoulders, you're going to stay here, both hands on the ground. If you feel stable in your shoulders, try lifting that left arm up. This is called fallen triangle. Notice my legs are straight and they're wide apart. Right? My hips are lifted and my heart is opening to the ceiling. Good. I'm going to exhale that hand down. Inhale the leg up and back. And exhale as I lunge. Inhale, I come up to dragon flying high. So these lunges are called dragons in yang yoga and yin yoga. And as I exhale, I bend my arms, creating two dragon wings. Now as I bend my arms, I'm also going to bend my back and lunge my knee forward. So go really deep. And it feels almost like you're coiling a spring. And then on the exhale, I release into balancing on the front leg alone. So this is like a warrior one. I'm going to lift that back leg up, bring my torso and leg parallel with the ground, hands at the heart center. Then, as I inhale, I sweep my left leg through and I stand up, crane as gracefully as I can. And as I exhale, I put everything back down on the ground. All right? So there's a lot of moves in there. We'll go through it again. Don't worry, on the other side. We're halfway through. We have to balance it on the other side. But again, notice what has changed, what you're feeling, right? I'm definitely feeling that heat building. Okay, other side. So inhale, left leg. And exhale, step back. Make room for your hands. All right, so this is the gecko position. And then we do the push-up. Inhale. Twisting dragon. Hips down, heart open, twisting. Good. Exhale back down again. Inhale the leg up and back. Dragon tail, right? Opening up the hip, opening up the back, the side, the waist, and maybe flipping all the way over. Good. Deep breath here. And exhale, lunge. Inhale, dragon flies to the other end of the world. Exhale, and again, push up, gecko. Inhale, left arm lifts up. And again, exhale, gecko. Good. Inhale that left leg up and back. And exhale, knee to the arm. Touch it. Good. Inhale, lifting up and back. Exhale, right to the center. Inhale, up and back. If you can't touch, it's okay. You're just making your best effort to touch the knee and the arm or the head. Good. Kick it out. Straight legs. Drop that back heel. Inhale, lifting up. So again, hips lift, legs straight and apart, heart opening to the ceiling. Good. Exhale that hand down. Inhale the leg up and back, lift it high. Exhale and lunge. Inhale, coming up, dragon flying high. Exhale to dragon wings. Good. Sink into it. Coil that spring, right? Work the posture. Take a deep breath, exhale, transition to balance. Again, balancing is hard for many, and that's largely due to concrete and shoes. And again, those things are not making us healthier. They might make our life easier, but they are affecting our health negatively. Good. Inhale, come on up. And exhale, release your crane. Good. So I think we have time to go through that at least one more time before we wrap up, maybe twice. We will go through it at a little bit of a quicker pace. Okay? Don't rush on your end. So if some of these positions are sensitive, you take your time. Okay? You catch up where you can. Good. Inhale, right leg up. And exhale, gecko. Inhale, twisting dragon. And exhale, gecko. Good. Inhale, leg up and back, dragon tail. And maybe you flip your dog, maybe not. Take a deep breath here. And exhale, lunge. Inhale, dragon flies to the other end of the world. Exhale and do a push-up, gecko. Inhale, twisting dragon, hips down, heart opens. Good. Exhale, gecko. Inhale, leg goes up and back. Exhale, knee to the arm. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose, chin, or forehead. Inhale. And exhale, other side. Kick it out, drop the back heel. Inhale, fallen triangle. And exhale, hand to the ground. Inhale, the leg goes up and back. And exhale as we lunge. Inhale, rising up. And exhale to dragon wings. Good. Take a deep breath. And exhale, come off the back leg. And then inhale, sweep on up, crane. And exhale, release that pose. Right in to the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, gecko, push up. Inhale, and twisting dragon. And exhale, gecko again. Inhale, the leg goes up and back. And then exhale as you perhaps flip your dog over. Taking a nice deep breath here. And exhale, bringing that foot between the hands. Inhale, rising up. And landing at the other end of your mat. Do a push-up. Good. Inhale. Twisting dragon. And exhale, gecko. Inhale, the leg goes up and back. Exhale, we touch the knee to the arm. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale up and back. And exhale to the opposite arm. Kick it out, drop that back heel. Inhale, lift the arm up, fallen triangle. And exhale, release that arm. Inhale the leg up and back. And exhale, lunge. Inhale, rising up. And exhale, dragon wings. Take a deep breath here. And exhale to balance. Inhale, sweep that leg through, stand up. And exhale, release. Close the eyes, still the body. Relax, breathe, and feel. I'm just going to close my window here because it's getting a little bit loud out there with all the lawnmowers. Okay, so just you're feeling the effects of that. Okay. Good. So we cultivated and built that chi flow. How do we know? Because we can feel the heat. We're sweating. Okay, now you might be saying, well, I'm sweating because I was working out. Yeah, and working out creates chi flow. All right, now not all workouts are created equal. So we're discovering that these ancient practices are very good for our health. The more that we study them, generally the more we're discovering that. They've been around a long time for a reason, because they've been tried and tested over a long period of time. They work. All right, let's finish with a little bit of 4-part Taoist breathing. So we just come to a comfortable standing position, and this is sort of going to integrate everything, bring everything back home. It's much easier than what we just did. So inhale, gather up the chi, and we exhale and open up our arms, pushing out to the side. Then reaching down and touching the earth with the back of our hands, we inhale and we pull the chi from the earth. And then with the palms turned down, we just descend the chi through the crown of the head all the way down along the spine, what in yoga is called the Sushumna. And then we begin again. Palms up. Again, gentle, easy. So we're gathering the chi from heaven. The yang chi. Push out, expanding, opening. That's a very yang quality. Then we reach down. Downward is a yin quality. We're pulling the earth chi. Earth is yin in nature. And then with the palms turned down, we again descend the chi along the spine. So we're coaxing it down. We're using our imagination and our body to help move energy. Energy is interesting because energy responds to imaginative effort. This is why in spirituality there's so many techniques that involve visualization, imagination. So you can close your eyes while you do this and just imagine the energy moving downward. What does it look like to you? It's moving downward, and then you're storing it down there in the lower abdomen, the lower dantian. And then what do you do with all that energy? Well, you could heal your body, right? You could develop spiritually. You can achieve things, goals that you have in your life. Good. The next time we descend that chi, let's just relax our arms, close our eyes, and we'll return to where we were at the beginning of our practice, where we're just relaxing and noticing what we feel. To really notice, we have to let go of judgment. As long as I'm judging and comparing, expecting or anticipating, then my eyes, my perception is clouded.
All right. So I want to thank you for joining me for practice this morning. I hope you got a lot from that. Again, these are donation-based classes. Like many people, I'm out of work at the moment. So if you want to help support me, there are some links there that you can check out. But the best way to support me is coming to practice with me, and I really mean that. If you're worried about your finances, don't worry about helping me out in that way. You can also help me by liking and commenting on the videos that you see that I do. That helps them get a little more traction on social media. If you want to check out more, check out my YouTube page, Instagram, my website. You can sign up for my newsletter there. Anyway, I hope you got a lot from this. I'll be back later on in the week with some other practices. I have published my schedule on my Patreon page, and again, the link is there. So if you want to see opportunities to do live classes with me, check that out. If there's any other way that I can help support you at this time as a yoga teacher, let me know. I have a lot of tools available to me that might be quite useful for you. Namaste, and thanks again.